Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome for another episode of Author Spotlight. It's your host with the most, your main man, Darren M. Palmer. Excited to be with you. I get the honor and the privilege to go behind the scenes with best-selling authors from around the world, around the globe. But we have a special addition to the show. You know what it is. It is time for Visionistas Conference 2021. I'm excited to have some of the Visionistas be a part of the programming. Today, we got a woman who really thinks outside the box. My girl, Arabia. Say hello to everyone, Arabia.
Hi everyone, how are you?
Awesome, awesome. We glad to have you on the show. If you don't mind, Arabia, share with the people a little bit about you.
A little bit about me. So, Arabia Shanklin, I'm originally from a small town called Steubenville, Ohio. I'm a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I am a naval officer. Right now, my specialty is human resources. I'm also a professional actress, and I am a keynote speaker. Oh, and I live in San Diego, sunny California.
She just had to throw that in there on us, y'all. She had to throw that in, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Give me somebody to visit when I'm out there in San Diego. So I'm
Exactly.
excited to have you be a part of it. And you know, Arabia, I think to me, you are a poster child of a woman who think outside the box
Thank you.
because of your, and thank you so much for your service for our country. I want to tell you that once again. I appreciate you for all that you do. But I love the way that you don't allow thoughts of titles to interfere in your creativity and you
Man,
utilizing all your gifts. So let's speak to that of the mental toughness to choose not to allow thoughts of others or how they perceive a role or what your limitations should be, not to allow others limitations to be imposed on you. Can you speak to that of being able to transition because you are an actress as well, along with a host of other things that you do, but now allowing your service to our country to interfere with you still embarking on your dream and on your journey to be the best actress that you can be?
man, Darren, that is such a great question. And the reason being is because my husband and I right now, we're going through this mental toughness journey. And when you talk about mental toughness, mindset changes, even the chapter of the book for me was phases of a mindset shift, right? So it's incredibly important that I myself, and I tell my colleagues and my mentees, you cannot have self-limiting beliefs. So it starts with you, it starts in your mind, right? People may impose their own insecurities or project their own doubts about what you can do and what your potential could be. But realistically, as long as you believe in yourself, right? If I believe, okay, I can be a military officer, still have the best performance, still be highly engaging in the naval force, but also be able to be a professional actress, balance the two, and be a good wife. Because this is a lot of hats I got to juggle. A lot of hats to juggle, right? But I have a belief, and I'm spiritual, so I believe God will direct me down the right path and keep me on track. But it also takes a bit of what is it? What is it? We have free will. So with my free will, I have to do what I can in my mind to ensure I don't limit my own self.
Ooh, I'm telling you, my girl Arabia is on fire. That's why we had to have her on today. I mean, I just feel like I need a bucket for all the jewels that she just shared with us, the gems that she displayed here. Um, I want to just dive a little bit deeper into some of the things that you brought up. Of the opportunities can be there, but depending on the mindset that you have, both of them starts with an O. But what are you viewing? What are you seeing? Are you seeing obstacles or are you seeing opportunities? Let me say that for the people in the back. Are you seeing obstacles or are you seeing opportunities? And I think that's what Arabia eloquently shared with us of the importance of there are things that are available to you, but because of your limited beliefs or because of things that you have anchored in you in your subconscious, that you don't have the power of awareness to see yet. It's actually you who are limiting yourself by those thoughts. What are
Right.
you confessing? What are
Right.
you sharing out of your mouth? Some of us, if you're not careful, you're already taking yourself out because you got life and death in your tongue and you don't understand it. You think that it's just a joke and everyone knows what you mean. But at the same time, if you're saying, I'm not getting that position, I can't do that. I'm not going to have that job. I'm not going to get that opportunity. They won't want anybody from my sexual orientation or from a socioeconomic background that I come from. I'm from the wrong side of the tracks, or because I'm female, because I'm male, because I'm short, because I'm tall, whatever that situation is. If you change the narrative, if you change the thoughts and the narrative, it will also change the actions that you take. And then that will change the results that you will have. And speaking of that, I think it's important with visionistas, and I want to dive into it as well, because a lot of us know it's not anything that we need to cry and holler about right now. But we know some of the challenges that it is for other women to be able to work with each other in certain instances. Not saying it's the same everywhere, but we do know, depending if it's limited beliefs. I'm not saying there's not issues with men as well, but it's common to know certain areas that the workplace can get a little shaky, or with women working together. And I think it's important to debunk that myth that women
Oh,
can't. And so I love what you all are doing with Visionistas, because y'all are getting rid of that negative connotation that women can't work together. But I also don't want to just come in here with the rah, 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 my she rolls and act like it's not any issues as well. And that women don't have to take some type of accountability far as some of this as well. And I want to go back to your chapter. I want to go back to what you shared earlier. It deals with mindset. So you can get with this cohort or get with this group to create wonderful content that's actually amazing, that's creating a legacy and changing lives for generations to come. But also you can be in another environment with people who don't have a growth mindset, people who don't celebrate other women, and it can be another type of environment that's toxic. So could you share, Arabia, the importance for those who are listening, or for women that are listening, of the importance of shifting their minds so they can celebrate other women instead of feeling like they gotta compete with other women?
absolutely. So there's so many different levels, right? And we won't be able to name them off in all of them entirely, but a lot of it is insecurity. A lot of it is intimidation, right? Um, and with that, you have to be able to identify it happening, take that ownership. Like, some people can be jealous. I wasn't raised in a household in that manner to be jealous of another woman or a male, right? But some people are raised in that. And sometimes that's deep rooted. But you have to be able to identify it happening, catch yourself, and then flip it into something positive, because that energy alone can make a bad situation good easily. So I say it again, identify it. Once you see yourself, or once you hear yourself saying something negative or about to gossip about someone, you have to stop it. Even if you get some words out, stop it, correct yourself, and then turn it into something positive. Because that can actually end when gossiping occurs in the workplace or with your girlfriends, and then it gets back. That's hurt feelings, that's damage, that's forever inducing trauma throughout someone else's life, which is unnecessary. So I say it all to say, working with all men or working with all women comes with its challenges, but you have to take the ownership on your own to identify whether you are creating that toxic environment, or whether you're creating an empathetic, kind environment where people can flourish and do great things. Because ultimately, we want to be in a position where everyone else is building around us. So if you're working with someone who ain't cutting above the cuff or holding up their end, you want to ensure you can do everything in your power to embolden them, empower them, so that they grow with you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And for those who are tuned into this, this is transferable. So I mean, I watch this, and so it's not a thing that I'm picking on women or whatnot when I'm saying that we got to be accountable. But
Yeah.
I think that we all have to self-assess. I mean,
Self.
so even with me, say for instance, some might title it as, being black or being African American, whatever terminology, this day and age, you say anything, everybody upset about everything, but you got to be understand this. I do understand, yes, there are issues that have to be addressed, but me, I
Mhm.
also know self-inflicted things that my
Oh,
culture has done to themselves. It's
right.
just like if I'm a part of a household and I'm a part of if I'm not a part of my household, I can't be upset with everybody else in the community and I haven't mowed my own yard. I haven't
Right.
taken care of my own family. I have to look at myself. It's not somebody else's responsibility. When I can't be mad at Jericho because I haven't did something I was supposed to do in my own household, and I'm mad at
Right.
Jericho about it. And so doesn't mean that it's not things that I need to address, but I also need to look at those areas. But I also got to look within. And I think
Mhm.
too, with those who I'm connected to as well, family, friends, and loved ones too, for sexual orientation. We see the same thing. It could be people who, no matter what community that they come from, it could be self-hate. So what we're talking about is mindset. It's not
Right.
limited to sexual orientation. It's not limited to where you are on the sexual socioeconomic ladder, like I alluded to earlier. But if we just write it off as that
Mhm.
everyone is just talking like it ain't any truth to some of these things that's out there, then we can't really get to the deep-rooted issues that all of humankind deal
Right.
with. And so when we address that with the right mindset that Arabia is telling us, it allows for us to have awareness, to pause, to stop that, and let's see if we can correct that and move the right way. And speaking of Arabia, what do you want people to take away from your chapter?
I would say, um, so self-discovery is a forever journey, right? So I would say, based on my chapter, I come up with this equation on what you can do to start shifting that mindset. And number one is, and you touched on this earlier, you have to visualize it. You got to visualize it first. And then I multiply that by, you got to have the expectation that you have the capability of doing so. And then that is going to equal the manifestation within this universe, right? So my main takeaway is, it's a forever self-discovery, but once you're able to identify and have that self-awareness of your capability and power, right? Because words have power. You speak that out, it can happen, right? So start equipping yourself with positivity, with good energy, good people, most importantly, right? Because things affect you, your mind, body, and spirit, based on what you put into yourself, right? Your mind, what are you watching? What are you listening to? Your body, what are you eating? Your spirit, who are you surrounded around? How are you receiving your spirituality? So that's what my chapter is about. And we dive deep into the steps and phases that you should go into in order to shift that mind into something positive, uplifting, and loving.
Ooh, that's why you want to be there for Visionistas Conference 2021. Perfect segue. My girl threw me an alley hoop. I had to dunk it. I had to dunk it. That's time right there. We can't give it all to you right now on this interview, but be there. Make sure that you get the book too as well. Arabia will be able to have information for those. We'll have it in the show notes, how you can purchase the book from Arabia and be able to get it autographed. If that's what you want to do, you know that you want to connect with Arabia too. So I want to give them the opportunity, Arabia, to we'll have the information in the show notes, but how can they connect with you? Whether it's social media handles or whatnot, or website information, how can they connect with you?
So I love people. So hit me up on either Instagram at Arabia Essence, on Facebook at Arabia Shanklin, or I have my own Facebook group. It's called Behind the Scenes with Arabia Essence. I'm on LinkedIn, Arabia E. Shanklin, and I'm not on Twitter.
Me either. Me either. I was on there, but I mean, I might have to do a better job. I might have to get somebody else to handle that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to have somebody else handle that for me. No tweets about us. Don't start sending slugs. Don't send slugs at us for not being on there or whatnot. But I'm glad to have you on, Arabia. I think that you're doing an amazing job. We had to have someone like you to be a part of this particular project because, like I said, everything about you is just
Mm,
innate. It's just who you are.
thank
You
you.
definitely have positive energy, but I love the tangible steps that you've given us far as takeaways on what we can do to implement this. It's not going to happen by accident. You know, you have to be intentional far as your growth. And if you think that the things that you're listening to, the things that you're eating, the people that you're around or whatnot, and you not if not being intentional on that energy,
Mm,
then you're gonna have what do you have? You're left exposed to whatever somebody else wants to inject in you or whatnot. And that's typically is not gonna be something that's in your best interest. So
right.
definitely let's make sure that we utilize the things that Arabia has shared with us. And Arabia, before we get out of here, speak to someone who are thinking to themselves like it makes sense. Arabia is knocking out the park, beautiful marriage, careers, plural, for some of the things that you're able to accomplish. But could you speak to that person who's straddling the fence and they're like, I want to share my story. I want to write. I got things that I want to embark on, but it might be a book, it might be a different career that they know they have a calling for. Could you share with that person of the importance of them moving forward towards that goal and not allowing for the limited thoughts of others or their own limited thoughts to dictate their lives?
So, sometimes I have to tell myself this, right? Um, but fortune favors the brave. And once you take that first step, the world's going to open, knowing that you visually took that first step into the right direction to open up the opportunities to your doorstep. So fortune favors the brave. And you got to be bold and you got to step out on faith and you got to do it in order for the opportunities to come your way.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's it. That's it. No mas. No mas. Y'all didn't know your boy was bilingual. I can't show you all. I can't give y'all all the game on here. I can't give y'all all the game. And, but I thank you so much, Array, for taking time out of your schedule. Once again, Visionistas Conference 2021. If you haven't signed up, go to self-publish your letter in 30 days. Click the events link. Make sure that you go on and register. It is totally free. We're
Yeah.
giving back to the people who want women to be able to come together and to be able to celebrate one another and make a change. But until next time, remember, if you want change, be the change. And remember, this is the year for your new book.
Yay. Thank you.